Hello everyone. Now that we have made our imaginative homes, we are going to be making our own self-portraits to go in those homes. So some of you maybe were using Legos, either building with them, stamping with them, or using some other things to make your home. So now we are going to make little self-portraits in the idea and theme of Legos. So we're going to make a Lego self-portrait. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video, and we're going to go over what it means for something to be a self-portrait in here as well. So let's get started. A portrait is an artwork of a person. While all of these artworks are portraits and are all of people, we can also see some differences based on the choices the artist made while creating a portrait. You can see that some chose to show the full person, while others just the head and shoulders. A portrait might also show where the person is, or the background might just be blank, or a design or a pattern. They might be just sitting there, or they may be shown doing something. And while all of these look pretty realistic and like real people, some artists create portraits that look something like this. So just because a portrait is an artwork of a person, there are a lot of choices artists make when they create a portrait, and they do not all look the same. They can also choose to make a self-portrait, which is an artwork an artist makes of themselves. Again, these same choices come into play. Here are 3 different artists who chose to paint a picture of themselves painting. These are all fairly realistic, especially the 2 at the top that almost look like photographs. But then again, not all artists are making self-portraits that are realistic, like some of the ones we see here. Our final examples are 3 different self-portraits, but they're all actually made by the same artist, Pablo Picasso. I like these examples together because they show how over time, one artist can make new and different decisions while creating their artwork, and even though the subject of what they're painting or what it is that they are painting is the same, the end results can be very different. Let's look at how we are going to make self-portraits for our project. All right, so to do our Lego self-portrait, I have 2 different printables on my website. So I have a large version if you would like to do that. Maybe that's a little easier, it gives you a little more space. But because Legos are small, it's kind of fun to do the smaller version. They're not as small as regular Legos because those would be really tiny. But they are pretty small, and as a result, there are multiple on a page. So you can either use these as practice ones or make yourself one and do some of your family members. So if you make one of yourself, remember that's a self-portrait. But if you start making them of your family or your friends, those would just be portraits because you're making it of another person. Okay, so print off what you need. If you can't print off, I'm going to show you later in the video how to just draw one yourself. Now, I'm going to do a little one, all right, and like all my other videos, I'm going to draw a little with my pen so that you can see it, but definitely do a pencil so that you can draw you on your Lego. So in order to make this your Lego self-portrait and not someone else's, you need to think of what makes you special, what makes you you. So for mine, I wanted to show me in one of my kind of art teacher shirts. So I'm going to draw that again here. So it has kind of sleeves that don't go all the way down, so I'm cutting them across there. So think, are you wearing a t-shirt? Are you wearing long sleeves? What do you want to wear? You could make it be the clothes you're actually wearing while you're making it, or you could make something else. So this shirt says, get your crayon, a little play on words. And then there's a crayon. Alrighty, so I got my shirt. Another line for the collar. There we go. And I don't really need to draw a ton of stuff. I'm gonna draw some shoes. I'm gonna draw, since it's getting warm out, I'm liking wearing my flip-flops around. So I'm gonna make it look like my little Lego person's wearing flip-flops. If you have little Lego figures, you'll know that like this part is yellow, the hands are yellow, and then you guys can kind of decide what color your clothes are, right? I'm gonna draw the face and think about the hair, and just like, well, now Legos are all kind of different, but just like Legos, I'm keeping it pretty simple. I'm not trying to do tons of details in these little spaces. Do a little that, maybe my eyebrows, okay, and then I can add my hair. And then do just a few lines. I'm not trying to draw every line because I want to do that with the color. I'll do a few. Alrighty. And then I can go to coloring. So I'm going to speed it up while I add some fun color to this. Alright, so notice as I color in the hair, I'm doing it in the direction the hair grows, and I'm trying to kind of give it that hair texture. Just doing something like that is a good detail when coloring. The way you color can help your drawing too. Alright, now it's up to you for this. You can make your Legos like normal skin color if you want, or you can have fun with it and just make it that classic yellow Lego color, which is what I'm gonna do. All right, so that would then be cut out so that I could make something like this, and it can now go in my imaginative home. Let me show you what to do if you can't print one of these guys off. All right, if you can't print these Lego pages out, I'm going to show you how to draw a little Lego character for yourself. So again, I'm drawing with pen, but you should definitely do pencil when you do this on your own. And I am going to draw kind of small. Normally we try and fill the page, but we're making these little Lego guys. So I'm going to draw kind of small, but don't draw itty bitty, because then it's just going to be way too hard to do your details. Okay, so everything's going to be simple shapes. All right, so keep in mind, you can draw squares and rectangles and circles. You know how to do that, so it's just a matter of how you put them together. So I'm going to start with the Lego head, and I'm going to do a square, but I'm just kind of rounding the corners, okay? And remember, you can pause this video and take your time. I'm going to put a little rectangle on top, again, curving the lines. Then I need to add his little neck. All right, from here, his body shape is actually like a trapezoid. So my older students, you might be familiar with that shape. If you're not, I'm going to show you. So I'm starting with the top of it, again, those kind of curved corners, okay? And then what makes it a trapezoid? So it's going to be smaller up here, and it's going to end up getting bigger. So these two sides, not a ton, but are just coming out a little bit at the sides. He just gets a little wider down here, okay? And again, kind of a curved corner, and go across. All right, then underneath that, I'm doing a long skinny rectangle. Okay, and then I need to do his legs. So they always, in order for their legs to move, they have this piece here, and from that piece, I have two more rectangles. All right, and then their legs can kind of move in different directions, and their feet, and so I just draw these lines going across. So body, legs done. Now I need to do his arms. His arms are a little more complicated, but not bad. So I'm going to do the curve of his shoulder down like that. And then he kind of has a bend at his elbow. Nothing huge, just a little bit. And then I'm going to do a curved line and go back in. Other side. All right, and then his hands, it's kind of like that claw hand. So I'm doing two little lines, just like I did at the neck. And then a curve this way, a curve this way, and meet. Line, line, curve out, curve out, curve and meet. Okay, something like that. And then you can make this into a self-portrait.